Ever since this day, there's been problems. Hit the like button, good people. Don't forget, you can become a member here. The Cash App is Carcino. Don't forget, we about to get into this. Yes, I'm about to handle this. I can't understand some of the most egregious acts I have seen in professional sports. Have taken place within the last 20 years. As people don't realize what they become. They become blinded by the lights. And Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James and this whole beef, supposedly between these two, neither one seemed to realize they're the same person. The fans don't. Everybody else can see it, except for these two. I just listened to Stephen A. Smith literally break down every single thing that went on between them two. And I said, this dude is really delusional. This is just him a week ago. Stephen A., that was you a week ago. A week ago. Let's take a listen for those who don't know what I'm talking about. He's once again on the Pivot Podcast show talking about the LeBron James incident that happened like 7 months ago. So here we go again.
The word proud. I would tell you that I don't regret anything that I did in terms of handling the situation. I don't regret it now. And I would tell you my feelings haven't changed. I don't like him at all. He doesn't like me at all. I don't like talking about him because I think people think that I'm looking to talk about him. Like, LeBron's inside of Stephen A.'s head. If you don't ask me about him, I won't talk about him. You see what I'm saying? I got a job to do, and he will never interfere with my job. I'm going to be professional. This man is one, in my mind, the second greatest player to have ever played the game of basketball. He's a great ambassador for the game of basketball. He's an incredible role model. What he has done with himself, what he has done with his crew, it's beyond admirable. And he will always warrant the utmost respect. But everybody.
Now, you say all of those things about him to get ready to say what you really feel. You're trying to say those things about him just like they want to say, what up, dudes, respect. We're going to say all these things about you that we don't truly mean or we care about because you opened up with, I don't like him. So if he's had all of those qualities about him, why would you dislike him?
He hasn't had the relationship that I've had. I'm in the media. I'm a commentator and pundit. I know the things that you've done behind the scenes. I know the things that you've said behind my back. I know what you've tried to do to derail me from being in the position that I'm in today. I know that if it were up to you, I'd have been stopped years ago. So it goes far deeper than I'll ever get into publicly. Knowing that, I still went on the air and was fair. And to me, you know, the way he handled the situation, coming up to me, courtside, all right, fine, you're emotional, whatever. I don't know who's getting on you at home and you might have felt compelled to do it. All right, fine. You reach this, on Saturday night in Boston. After that happens, you talking to RJ, Richard Jefferson, our colleague at ESPN. Good brother, your former teammate. Whispering in his ear, he said something about me as a father. I couldn't take that. But when that man went on Pat McAfee show, just to insult me, that was the final straw.
Now, that man said that was the final straw. First of all, you have done the same acts behind the scenes to a lot of people in the industry, in your very own industry. You've gone behind their backs and did certain acts, all behind the scenes. So, how ironic you have this approach when it's brought front and center right in front of your home. It's ironic that you got the same approach, but a little different. Second time around. Now, what makes this very interesting is that all of these facts or factoids that were brought up, Stephen A. Smith was saying it from a point of disdain or a point of hate. Right? You sound just like LeBron was when he was on that couch. See, LeBron don't normally do this type of stuff publicly in an interview. He normally hides, then turn around and do what he do. Because I aired out his private investigator information, he's been attacking my page, blocking you guys from notifications, etc. Oh, 100%. Now, here's the news as we're going to get to it. Stephen A. Smith is a shadow of his former self.
Bob Iger knows it. Jimmy Pitaro knows it. Burke Magnus knows it. Bosses at ESPN. Dave Roberts knows it. Rich Paul knows it. I'm sure, even though I haven't spoken to him directly, Maverick Carter knows it. The closest that I've ever come to backing up in my life has evaporated. I won't take one back step when it comes to him in life ever again, because I've done my job. He took it personal and took it to another level. To come on ESPN just to insult me with a show that comes on after me, we know what you were doing. So my attitude is, fine. Fuck it. This is how you want to do it? We good. Now we're in my lane. Because, make no mistake, it's my lane. LeBron trying to go up against me, you could try that, go in the shop. Just so y'all know, before anything happened, I volunteered to come on the shop. When I've been asked, I said, one condition, no edits. Air what you see. I'll happily come on. This is what I said at the time before any of that had happened. But he's not going to take me up on that offer because you see, I keep receipts. And you want to play that game with me, we fine. But the world needs to just understand I'm going to be professional. And I'm never going to violate my professional ethics. I'm not going to impugn my name, that of ESPN and Walt Disney, SiriusXM, or anybody else. But in the same breath, there's nothing wrong with telling the truth. I don't like his ass.
Now, right there, I don't like his ass. Why don't you like him? Why wouldn't you like him? Y'all are just alike. Y'all are damn near twins. So what would be the reason for Stephen A. Smith not to like LeBron James? That sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it? What would be the reason? You guys both are in the same boat. You choose your platform to go after people who weren't even bothering you, who wasn't talking about you. You weren't even on the radar. So for you to have that disdain, it shows up as weak, pathetic, and problematic. They're the same person. And Stephen A. don't even know a week ago he did the same thing. Well, things changed. And as they changed, all the narratives went in a different direction. Oh, yeah. When people have situations that they need to be involved in, they take things to another level.
And he don't like me. And I'm good with it.
Now this next portion,
He don't like me, I don't like him, and I'm good. Well, you're not good, brother, because you sat there and accused LeBron James of something that you do all the damn time. You target black athletes. You make moves behind the scenes against people you don't like. Y'all both cater to the white man. You don't run up on the white boy like that. This is where it gets crazy.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. Because my record speaks for itself. I got 30 years. I got 30 plus years in this business. A lot of talking about LeBron happened in the aftermath of all of that. I talked about you when you went to the playoffs. I talked about you when y'all asses got smoked in 5 games by the Minnesota Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? When Ant-Man walked outside the Crypto.com arena, walked down the streets talking about you. You understand what I'm saying? I said, I talked about the Lakers and the moves that they made when they extended Luka. I talked about when you opted in and I gave you your respect and your compliments when it's due. I've done more for him than he'd ever do for me. You know, I've accomplished a lot in this business. Okay? I'm a black man that's done it. I come from the streets of Hollis, Queens, New York City. I grew up poor. You know, government cheese and bread and all of that stuff, the kind of stuff these athletes talk about what they went through, I went through. And I ain't have y'all game, but I'm living well. I made it. I did my thing. You understand? Do you hear them giving us our respect? No, because the mentality is, who the hell are y'all? You see what I'm saying? Why? Because even if we're complimentary about you, excessively so, we're a pawn, we're a stooge. You know what? You got us in our pocket. You got us in your pocket. If we're critical of you, we haters. All right? We can't win. Well, guess what?
Yes, if we're critical of Stephen A. Smith, we can't win. So it goes both ways, Stephen. See, the cloth cuts both ways. You can't have it all. You want it all, but you can't. Can't have it all, Stephen. Can't have it go both ways. You trying to have it go both ways, and the way you're taking it and the angles you're using is pure, clear narcissist behavior. You got the blinders on. You act like you're oblivious to what happened on your own show.
What? I found a way to win anyway. So this is what I've done. And so, you know, what you see is a different culture. That's a conversation we never get into it really about in professional sports, but primarily the NBA, where you got cats and they go at NBA players and stuff like that. Like, you know, you bring up LeBron. You ever see LeBron go at a white boy? It's called what it is. You ever see him do that?
We ever see you go out the white boy? No. Let's call it what it is. Both of y'all some punks. Oh, man. Let's call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. Have we ever seen you do that? I remember the white boy come on your show and say, hey, you got some advice for me? You wasn't even in the damn building. You think like you didn't know that guy was coming. You knew he was coming, and you knew what he was coming for, and you ran up out the building. Because a billionaire white man was coming. You didn't want no smoke.
You see, you saw him come at me. Closest you ever came to seeing him do something like that was when he called out Brian Windhorst. What you calling out Brian Windhorst for? The man covered you since junior high school and has praised you repeatedly. And you used the Pat McAfee situation to go at him. You understand? And that's the only time you ever seen LeBron James, you know, really go at somebody white. I'm going to call it what it is. You know, so we understand each other. You know, I understand a lot more. And
we never see you come after anyone white. Ever. Whenever you get called out, you go, that's my friend. Dana White is my friend. Can't speak on him. He's rich and white. That's my friend. So when you're looking at the scenarios, right, and you're like, man, that sounds crazy. So when you start thinking, man, all of that sounds just nuts right now, you couldn't possibly fathom like everything that's been going on. Well, some people can, other people never do. It's the nature of the business, as others would call it, the nature of the business. And when you put yourself in the nature of the business, sometimes it just don't align with what it is that you want done. Mm. No. Stephen A is in total, I'm finna cause more waves to LeBron James. See, LeBron is the type that hide in the bushes and don't want nobody to say nothing back.
And I'll tell you, I'll divulge to my boy and his boy right here. You know, when I did my monologue for 17 and a half, 18 minutes, the day after he decided to go on Pat McAfee's show, all right? And I said what I said and meant every syllable of what I said. Immediately after, I was informed that we won't be hearing more from him about me. That's what I thought.
Now, I just wanted to show those.
That's what I thought. He's trying to bait LeBron James into saying something about it. Like, yeah, that's what I thought. You tried to get rid of me. Yes, that's what LeBron does. He's a piece of shit just like you. So because both of y'all are pieces of shits who basically go after black people, do a bunch of whole shit, this all comes up. But you trying to talk tough on the show, you're going to make LeBron laugh. Then he's going to get mad. Like when you came out with the Nino Brown chain. Yeah, that's what it's about. You've created this atmosphere. You've been doing for about 7-8 months of talking about this incident. LeBron's only going to talk about this incident with his team as they tried to come after you in a way that you're not going to expect it. But when he pulled up on you and told you to keep Bronny's name out your mouth, you had none of that energy. So to see you try to be tough now after Bron punked you, this is a typical LeBron James move. And he's probably laughing because he recognizes that's me. I would say something that goddamn weak. Yep. I'll do it all the time. All the time. But I'm the victim here. No, I'm the victim. No, I'm the victim. No, no, you're not. I'm the victim. I said I'm the victim. No, I'm the victim. You was wrong. No, you were wrong. How did it start? You know. No, you know. These two are exactly alike in almost every single way. And there's nothing else to really put with it. They're the same person. They are absolutely the same person. The pot calling the kettle black. Both of them want to be black when it's convenient. But never when it matters. That's why they both the same. Both showboating, both narcissists. They had this fool out here on a debate panel, political debate panel. Now, Stephen A. Smith has no business. He knows nothing about politics. He did a whole stick, got up and walked off the stage. It was embarrassing for him to even be on there. Ooh, up there, ooh. Buck dancing, buck dancing, buck dancing, buck dancing. There's plenty of these buck dancers out here. You got 50% in the Poe unit, buck dancing, buck dancing. So it's often you see how they break men like this, or what used to be men. They dress them up as a baby. That ain't AI. That literally happened. You give up 50% of that booty. And they dressing you up as a baby. They putting a clown suit on you. They doing all this stuff. You would have did it anyway. That's your thing. You're like, I'm going to do that anyway. Yeah, it's pathetic. Now, everything you said about Bronny James, I agree on. There's no problems there. You didn't say anything wrong about Bronny James. The fact that LeBron James Sr. don't want to acknowledge what's going on with Bronny James because it's his son, that's his psychosis. He just has to deal with it. There was no need to address him on that stage like that. But for him to try to use his power to have people fired, that's typical LeBron. That's typical narcissist behavior. That's what he's all about. So to see him pull those kind of moves, we right in his wheelhouse. That's what he does. That's what he's about. So when you see people step up and they start saying things, they start making observations or going into a different realm, yeah. Well, now Bronny James is on the injury report. He has a sprained ankle. Bronny James, sprained ankle? How would that be? How you spraining your ankle doing nothing? But he's LeBron James' son. He gets to load manage at 20. We a 20-year-old load manager. We giving him more opportunities than the guy that was drafted with way more experience than him. But we going all out for Bronny James because of who his punk ass daddy is. That's the problem. Of course he went on Pat McAfee because he's a narcissist. And when stuff start exploding in his face and the tape goes out and he's being looked at as a bully, he wants to go and put a spin on it. Well, when people are in a new direction, in a new situation, when you start thinking throwback, you start thinking, what is this supposed to be? Well, it's clear. LeBron came to the Lakers, took Kobe Bryant's locker. He could have took any locker he wanted to. He takes Kobe's locker. He takes his driving space. Well, Kobe started flying helicopters to the game, so he didn't need it anymore. Then he never seems to support black media unless they're signed to him. Draymond signed to him, never been on his show. He never went on the Pivot podcast. He showed up on Road Tripping during the pandemic with RJ and Channing Tatum, his former teammates. Never been on Club Shay Shay. Never sat on the couch. That's your boy. That's Uncle Shannon. That's your guy. You never even went on Brendan Marshall's show. You never even went on Matt Barnes or Steven Jackson's show. You never did any black show. You ain't done the Knuckleheads. You haven't done any of those. So this mystique that they keep trying to hold over the league. And you know why, LeBron? Because LeBron say F him. That's why. I ain't got to go up there. I don't care at all. Like I care about Don't Connect. He doesn't care about Don't Connect. He doesn't care about anything that isn't revolving around LeBron James. He just doesn't care. Oh, yeah. They all the same. Well, take a gather at a lot of these topics. Now, when he came out and he got approached, he came out like he was Nino Brown, wanted to wear a chain. Like I said, you haven't seen Stephen A. with a chain since. He wanted to be like Nino Brown. Yeah. Well, that's the narrative. LeBron's the same way, doing all kind of tactics, thin skin. We all know about him.
I support my brother, Solomon Hill, baby. He was just out there playing defense. It ain't his fault LeBron can't move his feet.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Keep LeBron James away from the GOAT conversation. You can never have lost your confidence on a basketball court and can be considered greatest of all time. This man has lost his confidence in NBA finals. To go to the finals as many times as he did with all the advantages he had, he has come up short. He called himself the greatest player of all time on his own show. When you're great, that's for other people to say about you, not for you to say about yourself. You're trying to convince yourself you're the greatest of all time when you're not. If he played in the 80s and 90s, LeBron James would be a CBA player. He's nobody but Sean King. Let's go through the facts. Footwork. He has no footwork. His footwork is terrible. Can't dribble. He lowers his shoulders and run over people. That's an offensive foul. It's just unsolved. Jump shot is terrible. Can't shoot threes. Free throws. Can't shoot free throws. He don't play no damn defense. So can somebody please explain this story to me? How the hell would he be on the number one list? He's corrupted this league. He's done everything wrong in this league. He done ruined the historical value of the All-Star game to make it all about him. LeBron's team. Team LeBron versus Team Curry. Now it's exciting. No, it wasn't exciting because you want to put players on your team because you can't win on the East. We ain't got no good players. There was good players on the East. You suck. So you couldn't beat the West. That's just what it was. So he got tired of losing in the All-Star game every year, so now he want to change it up. The problem wasn't the All-Star game people on the East and West and switching it all up. That wasn't the problem. The problem was you weren't playing. Y'all were just sitting out there letting people dunk and y'all having conversations on the court. It's like, dude, y'all gonna even play? This is boring. Ain't nobody even watching this. Y'all. And that was the truth. Everything I've said about this bum has been right. So to hear that he's saying all this about LeBron, we all know it's true. This bum has come into the league, made it all about him at everybody else's expense. And look what it's gotten him. He's so damn overrated. Of course he is. But it's his narcissist behavior that kept him in the spotlight. He's right now behind the scenes plotting to do another move. Ever since my video that's been taken off about him hiring that private investigator to look into his wife, he got mad. And now all of you see, no notifications going out. People like, wait a minute, you live? I didn't know you was live. Ever since that video. And you talk about there's no corruption. Of course it's corruption. Staring right at it. So when people start making analogies into what they need to get done, they need to think about the direction they're going towards. Yep. Etc., etc., etc. So these are two fools who are just alike. Stephen A. Smith, a liar, who just, white man came right in your damn workplace and called you out, and you didn't say nothing. You made sure you wasn't even in the building. You were like, white man, gotta go. But turned around right after that. It was so soft talking, even on your main show, where you normally get tough on your show when you're at home. You ain't get tough. But a black woman, Jasmine Crockett, who has no control over any policy. You want to target her? Ain't calling out none of the white folk that was making these policies, going after everybody. You choose Jasmine Crockett, who in Texas, her life being threatened, and a so-called black man is the one that's the loudest microphone going at her. But this is what I said. Y'all the problem. Because y'all bring them on y'all shows, swing them on your platforms, deal with his antics, and they're going to keep shoving them in your face. And no matter what Lebron do, Stephen A., etc., I'm going to still be here to do this. Tell the truth. I'm out. Peace.
Hi, I'm Carcino.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world. And I'm just giving my 2 cents on it.